Hello guys, welcome to another video of essay writing practice. Okay, so basically, every day we are going through certain types of sample essays and you are gathering some content to write in your real-time examination. So students, today first of all, we are taking the topic which is child labor. It is also a very common topic. Okay, it might or might not appear in your exam, but your preparation for this topic is very important because again, it's an issue which is being faced by the country. So let's talk about this topic in detail. Now, basically today I have sorted out things for you students because every one of you know how to write an essay, like how to divide the paragraphs. But while doing an explanation, it is better that we go segment wise so that you understand better. Okay, I've got certain reviews and the students like the pattern of taking specific paragraph in a specific slide, and that's for the reason I am taking up the essay writing in this way. Okay, altogether the entire essay at the place and then discussing the paragraph is not so explanative. So we'll go segment wise and slide wise and take certain paragraphs so that you understand and have a great knowledge about particular topic. So as I told you, the today's topic is child labor. Now the topic can come up in variety of manners. The topic can come in the manner like, should child labor be abolished completely, or what is child labor, elaborate your views on it, like something like that. Some kind of topic will be framed according to this main topic, but the main topic will be remaining like child labor only. So now let's start with it. Okay, so as I told you, the essay begins with an introduction part. Okay, introduction and conclusion are two things which are very important to focus on over here. This is an introduction part. Now in the introduction part, first of all, let's see what has been written and what else can you include in this particular introduction. Okay, as per Indian law, children who come under the age group of 41 to 14 years are not allowed to be employed to any job forcibly by the parents or master in factories, offices, or restaurants. It is commonly practiced in India and other developing countries in small scale industries for domestic service. Okay, as a restaurant waiter, as rock breaking, like a shopkeeper's representative in construction site, or for bookbinding. So students, basically, uh, we have to introduce this particular topic that child labor in India is going just, the different way. Yeah, the child labor in India is going like a burden onto the society. So in the introduction, you should talk about a bit about child labor specifically in India. Okay, so you will tell that as per Indian law, the particular age of a child is 1 to 14 years, and when they're 1 to 14 years, they're not allowed to be employed, not allowed to do any kind of work which is heavy onto them, because this is the age where they need to learn, they need to be educated, well nurtured, but not to work hard and put themselves under pressure. So this is what you have to tell in the lump sum one paragraph in the introduction. Okay, so introduction over here is just, okay, 6 lines or maximum 7 lines, or I think 6 or 5 are enough. Okay, for introduction. Now comes the second paragraph. Now second paragraph over here is small. You can merge this with third paragraph also, but because I am explaining you in a very segment wise, that's why I'm taking it up. Now, you also have to tell why the child labor is there in India. The child labor is a problem. Okay, child labor is a kind of an issue which is being faced by the country. It's a basic problem of the country. So there should be definite reasons behind like it, that why it is prevalent in India. So you can write that there are several reasons, or you can write over here, there are multiple reasons. Okay, multiple reasons. You can write a lot of reasons, a multitude of reasons. You can just replace the words according to the situation. Some of the grounds of global child labor are similar, however they differ from country to country. Now students, in this particular topic, we are not talking about in India only, we're talking about child labor in general. But for example, if the examiner poses a question to you, child labor in India, then mind it, in every paragraph, if you're taking an example, your example should relate only towards India only. But because over here I'm taking the topic in general, it can be India also and all the other developing countries. So you have to tell over here that the reasons differ from country to country. Okay, and but the most popular reason of child labor is There is poverty, suppression of child rights, irregular education, and inadequate rules and laws. So specifically, poverty or being poor, having low financial income is one of the very common reasons why children are also employed at a certain place so that they also earn a good amount. Okay, so you have mentioned the reason over here. Now this third paragraph you can merge with the second or you can keep it aside, that's totally up to you. Now you will talk about some kind of census, okay, some kind of study or survey. This is also important if you're talking about any current issue and you have any idea about any survey, or if you don't have an idea about survey, you can make a general survey, okay, statement. Poverty and unemployment in developing nations are the leading cause of child labor. Okay, now we have discussed the laws. Okay, now we have discussed the basically a lot of causes. Now it's time that we need to talk about the leading cause. As I told you, the major cause is the poverty only. People are poor and that's why it happened. Second is unemployment. Generally, people don't have jobs. Okay, and as a reason, they want their children to also be a part of a support, financial support. Okay, as per statistics of United Nations, now you can write UN or you can write United Nations. I will highly recommend you to write complete United Nation. Okay, United Nations. Avoid abbreviations in your descriptive examination. Okay, of 2005, more than one-fourth of people globally are existing in extreme poverty. Means people are dealing with a lot of problem, financial instability, deficiency of admittance to proper education in many nations. In 2006 it was found that about 75 million children were far from school life. Breaking laws about child labor give way to prolonged estate child labor in any developing nation. Poor social control provides rise to prolonged easy child labor in any country, in agriculture or household work. So now in this paragraph you have given a kind of a census, you have given a kind of an idea about the scenarios or percentage of children working as a child labor. Now students, you will be like, ma'am, we don't know the exact percentage. So it does not matter, because even the exact percentage varies according to the situation. So a lump sum or approximate you should write, like, because you also are existing in the same society, and still after so many efforts, a lot of children are working at different places and under harsh conditions. Now let's talk about another paragraph or another content that you can include in your essay, and that is limited rights for children. Okay, limited rights for children and laborers affect labor's living standard to a high degree, which is also a significant issue. Many children start working to improve the income of their family so that they can manage at least 2 times food. They're appointed by companies to make more production at reduced labor cost. Okay, now, to reduce the social matter of child labor, it is required to follow some effective solutions. See, now you talked about introduction, you talked about some current scenario or census or surveys, okay? Then you talked about the particular reason behind it, like poverty or unemployment are basic leading reasons. Now it's time for you to talk about certain solutions, what can be done to reduce child labor in your country. So you will mention, in order to reduce the social matter of child labor, it is required to follow some effective solutions, and that too on an urgent basis, okay? To safeguard or to guard the future of any country. Okay, this is covered. Now this particular part, creating more unions may help in preventing child labor, PDF, as it will improve, okay? And it will promote child labor, don't write PDF, yeah, preventing child labor, as it will promote more people to help against child labor. Now child labor is particular scenario which cannot be stopped on its own. So a lot of counseling companies or unions and clubs should come together for the single cause of eradicating child labor from the society. Okay. All the children should be given first priority by their parents to take proper care and regular education from their early childhood. But from the very beginning of the childhood, their first right is the right to education and regular education. So they should be given education as a first priority. This step needs much cooperation by the parents as well as the schools to free children for education and take admission of children from all walks of life. Now, it's very important that the schools should also come and support, because sometimes when the families are poor, they cannot afford to get into a good school. The schools, they avoid those children. Okay, they avoid them, and as a result, because these children are unable to go to the school, so as a result, out of depression and lack of financial sources, their family members set them for some part-time works or part-time employment, which in turn turns out to be a child labor. And it is very pressurizing and humiliating on the children. Okay, let's begin with the conclusion part now. Now, this is the conclusion or the last paragraph, because there is nothing a lot more to study in child labor. This is quite enough. That this is like child labor is a huge social obstacle. You can also write over here a word. You can substitute a word over here. In terms of obstacle, you can also write it hurdle. Okay, is a huge hurdle or is a huge obstacle that requires to be resolved on an instant basis, and with the help of what? With the help of both people and government, because alone government cannot take an action until or unless we people are also towards the common cause, right? So like the people means even teachers and parents both, and also the government, they should take these steps against the child labor. Children are very small, however they lead a flourishing future of any developing country. So they are a big responsibility of all the citizens and should not be used in the negative way. Now, students, see, we know children are small, but children are the future of the country, because these children tomorrow will become the future of the country and they will give the name to the country, doctors and engineers and a lot more professions. Okay, so these children should be nurtured in a proper manner and they should not be neglected. Okay, their power, their capacity, their abilities should not be utilized in a negative manner. Instead, they should be given proper importance. Okay, they should get a proper chance to evolve and grow with the happy atmosphere of family and school. Yes, they should not be part of any kind of employment, rather they should spend their time with their families, and they should spend time in the school for the purpose of education to become something in the future. They should not be restricted by the parents only to secure the economical scale of the family by the companies to get the lower cost. Okay, so here is the like conclusion part. But students, now that we included a lot of things in this particular essay, you can also include some more things. What can you include in this essay? I'll tell you. We discussed the introduction part. We discussed the survey. Okay, we discussed the reasons. Okay, the reasons we discussed, and then we discussed about what in this over here. We discussed about the solutions as well. Okay, and then the conclusion. You can also write the ill effects of child labor on a child's personality. Okay, you can add a paragraph. If your word limit is not completed, you can add up some more topics here that you can talk about the harmful consequences of child labor on a child. And if you ought to write more in an essay, like in this essay more information, then you can include a relevant example of any child labor that you actually experienced, you actually saw some of your practical experience you can include in this essay. For example, a child working at a restaurant, something that you came across. You can talk about any examples in your neighboring society, etc. Okay, students, so now let's begin with another essay. So students, now another topic is unemployment in India. It's also a common topic, a common issue in India, which is also important because now that we are studying for descriptive examination, we cannot go for all the topics. We can go for the important topics which are picked by the examiner. Okay. So this is also a very common issue, a common problem bearing by the citizens of the country. This is the unemployment. And first of all, you have to frame your essay in your mind. That is very important. Like, for example, you got an essay, you just got the topic immediately, that unemployment in India. Okay, now you have a rough sheet with you. Okay, you definitely will be having. So don't start immediately writing on your fair sheet. That will be wrong. Okay. Now the topic is unemployment in India. Divide your essay into parts. Okay. Okay, this is introduction. Okay. This is the body paragraph 1, then 2, or 3, like it's up to you. I can include 3, and then the conclusion. Okay, and this is how your things will revolve. Okay, now it's time you should focus on intro part. What will you write in the intro part? In intro part, you can talk about what is unemployment. You can talk about the situation of employment in India, the opportunities in India. Okay, so that all you can include in introduction, but not more than 5 to 6 line introduction should be there. Now body paragraphs. What you can write in body paragraph? What is the reasons of unemployment in India? Okay, you can write about the reasons of unemployment. You can write about the consequences of unemployment. Okay, you can write about a relevant example. You can talk about the census, like how many people were employed in this year and now what is the scenarios and etc. You can talk about certain schemes launched by the government to provide employment to the people. So all these things should be in your mind, and you can roughly write it. Like I have written roughly, similar roughly you will write it. Now also you will not begin your essay on the fair sheet. You will organize these rough idea into a proper sequence. That will come first, it will come second, it will come third, like this. Okay, so let's begin now. The first paragraph, which is an introduction paragraph, what has been written, let's see. The recent $1 trillion meltdown of US, the Eurozone crisis have changed the economic landscape of the world. Now, this is a very typical introduction. You can simplify it, as I told you. You can talk about immediately about the unemployment. Many developed countries that were doing well suddenly are grappling with filling debt, a banking crisis, and a slowdown. So, unemployment, which is bothering India, is in fact a global issue affecting a lot of countries. Okay, message there, affecting, not affecting, affecting a lots of country. So basically, in the introduction, they have said that this particular unemployment problem which is being faced by India is not India's own problem. It's like a global issue. If countries on the other side are facing some crisis, because we are linked to those countries directly or indirectly, we are a part of this particular, drawbacks or aftershocks. Okay. Sorry, students. Yeah, so now we will talk about the census. As I told you, when you talk about any problem in the country, there is a survey already conducted. So you can talk about that survey. If you don't know about that specific survey, you can just write on your own that a particular survey was conducted in which 20%, 30%, like a lump sum idea you can generate. Because nobody's going to check the exact information. They're actually judging you on the skills of English. Unemployment records in India are kept by Ministry of Labor and Employment of India. Now, this thing has to be in your mind that a particular record of unemployment in India is kept by Ministry of Labor and Employment of India. Now, from 1983 till 2011, unemployment rate in India averaged 7.6%, reaching all-time high in December 2010 and a record low of 3.8% in December 2011. Now, a large pool of youth in the age group of 18 to 25 years, despite being skilled, are facing unemployment since there was not enough opportunities for them. Interestingly, the gap between rural and urban employment rate is also not very wide. But since India has the largest population of youth in the world, the impact of declining financial market is worst in India. Now here you have actually described the main line, okay? Why India is having a major effect of unemployment. Unemployment is a global issue. It can be with the other countries if one country is tackling with the problem. So, but why it is only India which is badly affected? The very specific reason you have to mention is the large population of India. Okay, you can also mention large population and limited resources for India. So this is a particular reason why India is the most affected, or the worstly affected with unemployment. Okay, let's talk about another paragraph. Unemployment will be classified as, yes, this is important. Students, if you have a basic knowledge of economics, I'm not talking about the all the students, if definitely if you have a bit knowledge of economics, you will be knowing that unemployment is categorized. Okay, unemployment has different types. If you don't know, you should memorize it because it's a very common topic. So if you are learning about this topic, you should know the knowledge of this topic as well. That unemployment is classified as rural, urban, seasonal, cyclical, or technological. Now, seasonal unemployment is found mostly in agriculture sector or manufacturing unit like sugar or ice factories, because that employment is for a particular season. For example, you can include examples over here. For example, a person selling the ice creams in the summertime will be unemployed in the winter time. He will be unemployed for a specific period because he is specialized with that particular thing, which is seasonal. Okay, so this is called as what? This is called as seasonal unemployment. You can include examples. Now, what is cyclic unemployment? Cyclic unemployment is caused due to ups and downs in trade. Okay, if there is a up and down in the trade, that causes cyclic unemployment. When the entrepreneurs compensate their loss by cutting down on the number of workers, it is called cyclic unemployment. Like for example, the corona situation, the pandemic situation, a lot of people were fired from their job. A lot of companies cut down their staff members because they were having insufficient funds to pay to their workers. So the staff of 20 became the staff of 10 and 10 got unemployed. That particular employment is called as cyclic unemployment. Okay, so you have to include this in your essays of unemployment. Okay, yeah, as the term suggests, this is a lengthy paragraph. As the term suggests, technological unemployment. You have to explain all the unemployments. As the term suggests, technological unemployment occurs when introduction of technology displaces manpower. What is technological unemployment, students? That, for example, people who were employed to do a manual work, okay, something which was done manually, are unemployed because that manual task is being has been machinized or has been technologically replaced by the machinery. Okay, so this is technological unemployment because now that particular employee has been unemployed because he was expertise of the manual work and the work has technified now. Now you will talk about the factors which leads to unemployment. As I told you, the reasons for unemployment. Factors like lack of capital, lack of investment, low production, decline in business cycle, dislocation of industries, deflation, no use of technology, etc. are basic causes of unemployment. Besides these economic causes, unemployment can be caused due to various social factors. For example, geographical immobility, rapid growth of population, defective system of education, lack of experience, lack of vocational training, illness or disability. Now, not getting a job, like unemployment, has a lot of reasons. Some reasons are very common, which are economic reasons, but some reasons comes into the category of the personal reasons. For example, if person is sick or is disabled, he is not only suffering from disability or sickness, but he's also suffering from the problem of unemployment because he's not fit to work. Lack of vocational training. A lot of people don't have the knowledge of a particular field. They are less educated, they are less trained, and as a result, no company hires them. Okay. Another social factor is the demand for certain white collar jobs and the attitude of society to look down upon certain jobs, such as teaching or salesmanship, which also causes unemployment. The desire for social acceptance through made up total status to cause unemployment. Now, one very hidden reason for unemployment is the show, like, social status. A lot of people can do job, but because of the society, they don't want to do the meager jobs. For example, if a boy has been unemployed, okay, he has been unemployed from a big organization, he he is unemployed, okay, so he can also get a job at a as a salesmanship in some company or at a small shop, but he is not willing to do it because he was fired from a big organization, and doing a low level job is a low social status. So because of this social status problem, also a lot of people are unemployed. Okay. Now, unemployment thus causes, now you will talk about the effects. Okay. In this paragraph, we'll talk about the effects of the unemployment. Unemployment thus caused disillusionment, frustration, and dissatisfaction. This gives rise to cynicism, dissipates the energy of the youth in destructive directions. Thus, they resort to crime, violence, antisocial activities, or even worse than try to take a shortcut to achieve the much sought after social status. This explains the number of bank robberies, online money transactions, frauds, etc. Even suicidal tendencies are on a rise due to social humiliation and deprivation. Now, see, students, you are talking about the effects in this particular part. So, you will talk about all the consequences of the unemployment, that as a result, when people do not have job, they get astray, they fall victim to a lot of crimes, violence, and a lot of problem in societies. Yeah, the last paragraph is, now conclusion is always kind of a suggestion. Okay, so here you will give your suggestion that government should set up their efforts to support skill and retraining activities to address the gap between demand and supply of work skills and qualifications. The country need to take a serious look at the present scenario and think of some suggestive or serious remedial measures. Remedial means a proper remedy measures to face the mammoth problem of unemployment, okay, or to face the serious or grave problem of unemployment. So this is going to be your ending of an essay. This is how you do an ending of an essay. So I hope you are clear with all the paragraphs, student. This is how you will write the paragraphs in your examination. You will write in a proper way in a single sheet. This is a slide, and I have divided into segments for proper explanation paragraph wise. That's why it's like separate. However, you will write in a proper manner, like sequence wise, leaving one line or like the gap for the paragraph change. Okay, so let's begin with the third sample essay of today. Now, another topic for today is e-commerce. Now, you should know, students, the meaning of commerce is, in other word, we can also say that a business. Okay, so and E stands for electronic. Okay, E stands for electronic, or basically we're talking about the technology. Okay, techno business. Now, you know, students, business is no more limited to the shops. Okay, the business have become technified in all aspects. That is going to, that is what we are going to discuss in today's essay. The essay is about e-commerce. In the examination, you might get a simple topic e-commerce, or they will revolve the topic. Definitely they will revolve the topic around the e-businesses or online shoppings or something like that. So all this content will be covered in this essay. If you have the idea about e-commerce, writing an essay about technological advancement in the business will be an easier task for you. So now, as we have to do, very important thing is, like, once you have got your essay topic, start generating ideas and keep writing the ideas. Okay, you have to talk about in your introduction what is e-commerce. In the other parts, you will talk about the positive changes which came up with the e-commerce, like that, and then conclusion part. So generate your ideas, then organize your ideas in a proper sequence, like one, two, whatever you have to write, and then finally pair it down on the pair sheet. Okay, so that's how you will do it. Like, let's move further now and start with the first part. Now this introduction is a bit lengthy. I have written lengthy introduction. You have to wind up your introduction in 5 to 7 lines, okay, or 6 lines maximum. You can extract the information from here. Okay, that's just an explanative video, so just going explanative and lengthy also as well. Yeah, in 21st century, the rapid development of information technology and rapid increase in information exchange have brought new drives and innovative ideas to the whole society. Okay, this is important because e-commerce is has come up because of the technological advancement, because the country is progressing technology wise. That is why these things are coming up. The wide adoption of information technology, okay, the wide adoption of information technology by the community has led to great changes. And these changes are not simply in the context of data processing or computing, they are the changes which affect how we communicate with each other, how we organize daily activities, how we educate the younger generation, and how we run business. This is the important part because this is where we have to focus on, because this is our essay. The great development and acceptance of information technology, computer network, and internet have transformed the mode of operation. See, now we have come to our main point, that these technology and advancement in network and everything has transformed the way of doing the business or businesses operations, and at the same time have brought along unprecedented business opportunities. Yes, nowadays, starting a business has become so easy thing. Everyone can become a businessman from the within the four walls of his house. Reason is the technology, right? So you should specify this thing, that the business opportunities have increased. Businesses are now able to conduct transactions across geographical boundaries, across time zones, and at a high efficiency. Now, buying things from far off place or a foreign place or different time zone was like a dream yesterday and as a reality today. And why it is a reality? Because of the technology. And now we'll talk about e-commerce has become the market trend of the century. Currently, e-commerce is like a trending thing. Okay, now life has become very busy these days. Okay, now you have to tell the positivity of e-commerce. The life has become very busy these days. Odd working hours, hectic schedules, and time constraints have changed how people shop these days, right? E-commerce major benefit is about the shopping. Okay, so now, yeah. So you're talking about the shopping also, because that's most important. Hence, e-commerce has become the preferred method for shopping for many people. Now, due to this e-commerce, like e-business, business is taking part into a electronic category now. So shopping will become an easier part. Okay, they love the ease with which they can shop online from their home at any time. Or you can use a phrase over here, they can order online in the comfort zone of their home. Purchasing options are quick and convenient with the ability to transfer funds online. Okay, consumers save time and money by searching for items and making their purchases online. Now, particularly in this paragraph, we will be talking all the positive lines about online shopping. So when you generate rough ideas, just generate some key ideas, okay? What are the benefits of shopping online? You get the product at home, you get within the limited time, you save your time, you save your money because there are so many offers and discounts online. You can compare your products, you can see reviews of the products, okay, like this. It can take several days of physically going from location to location, costing time and fuel. Now you're comparing the online shopping with an offline shopping, okay? You can move to location, costing time and fuel to purchase a hard to find item. Moreover, e-commerce is an efficient retail method for business transactions, okay? Like startup cost for establishing an e-commerce business is far less than expanding your business with more brick and mortar locations. Yes, starting an e-business is becoming easier than investing in a good infrastructure. Okay, you have a good talent and you want to start your business. Don't have a location, you don't have a property, you will buy a property, it will cost you a lot and you'll invest in that. A lot of expenses are there. And but if you have a cell phone in your hand, if you have a connection, good internet connection, a laptop, you can sit back in the comfort zone of your house and do your task, and you are running a business without much investment. Okay, fewer licenses and permits are required to start online business. That's very great. Physical store or physical location required property, a lot of documentation. But over here in this type of business like online, there is a least paperwork required. Okay, no formalities are there. You will also save money by using fewer employees to perform operation, managing inventory, billing customer, etc. Now, because you're generating your business from home, you are the owner and you're the boss of everything. So what you will be doing, you will be like, saving money. At the shop, you will have to hire a lot of people, like your maids will be there, the workers will be there, the guard will be there. But if you're generating a business from your home, you will have to employ fewer employees and your money will be saved. You won't have to search for an appropriate geographic location and worry about high pay, utility costs, etc. that we have already covered. So now in this particular paragraph, we took all the positive points and compared online shopping like e-shopping with the offline shopping as well. Okay. Now let's talk about the other things. Advertising done well on the web can get even a small firm's promotional message out to potential customers. Now, advertising is also a very positive outcome of e-commerce, that nowadays people are able to advertise their products or their businesses online, and as a result, they can promote their product, they can promote their organization, they can promote their business, their venture. A firm can use electronic commerce to reach narrow market segments that are geographically scattered. The web is particularly useful in creating virtual communities that become ideal target market for specific type of products. The prospects are in doubt, great for e-commerce and its followers, but still there are some consumers who are reluctant to embrace e-commerce because of privacy issue. Now students, see, we have covered the paragraph positives. Now my body paragraph will revolve around a bit of negative aspect of e-commerce, because every technological advancement comes with a boon and a bane, which we have already told in the previous essay. Boon and a bane, it's an idiom you can include, you can write your idiom like this. Every technological advancement comes with a boon or a bane. You can write over here and then start. The prospects are in no doubt great for e-commerce. Like definitely e-commerce has a lot of positivity, which is no doubt very great. But still, yes, the question arises that, but still, there are some consumers who are reluctant to embrace e-commerce because of privacy issue. What are those issues? You will talk about in detail now. Making an online purchase often requires disclosing personal information such as address, telephone number, and banking or credit card information. While many people feel making an online purchase does not compromise their personal information, some still prefer not to take a chance of having their account information accessed by a third party and will only make their purchases at the storefront operation. So yes, even if e-commerce has been the loving aspect of a lot of people, but there are people who do not like e-commerce or this advancement in business because of some private reasons. First of all, when you make an online shopping, they ask for a lot of details about you which are very private, like account details and a lot more. So for this reason, a lot of people refrain from giving such information to these people, and instead they end up buying the product at a store and the offline mode. Okay, so yes, now this is the end over here. This is the last part, but you have to include one conclusion as well. Okay, these kind of essays do not come with any kind of conclusion, because you don't have to suggest any suggestive measures in it. You cannot write any something like that. But as a conclusion, what you can do, you can write that However, it will the online shopping come with positive and negative effect. And if the examiner asks your opinion about online shopping, then you can give your opinion in the conclusion. Okay, you can give your opinion if it is asked by the examiner in the conclusion part. So these all are the contents that have to be covered in the e-commerce type of essay. So if an essay comes to you which is like e-commerce or e-businesses, don't get confused. You have a lot of information to write on it and write about it. Okay, so students, I hope you have understood all the sample essays of today, and I hope you like the content that has been taught to you. If you want some more topics, like if you want to come up with some more different topics, we'll cover that as well. Apart from that, from next time, like the next video, I will be taking previous year questions. Okay, previous year questions of descriptive papers, like 2 samples of previous year and 1 sample of a new topic. Okay, like this we will be doing.